So last week, I asked you to put these fractions in order from least to greatest. I gave you 3/4, 1/6, and 1/3. Many of you looked at the bottom number, the denominator, and you realized that sixths would be smaller than thirds because sixths are going to be smaller pieces. 1/6 was the least of these three fractions. However, some of you looked at the fourths and the thirds and decided that the fourths would be smaller pieces, which is in fact true. However, 3/4 is going to be a bigger portion of the whole than 1/3. So another way you can think of this is if you compare each of these to the benchmark fraction of 1/2. 1/6 is a lot smaller than 1/2. It would take 3/6 to be the equivalent of 1/2. 1/3 is also less than half. It would actually take 1.5 thirds to make 1/2. However, 3/4 is greater than 1/2. It takes 2/4 to make an equivalent fraction to 1/2, so 3/4 would be greater. The correct order of these fractions is 1/6, then 1/3, and then 3/4. I want you to watch the video on the next slide, which gives you a good visual representation of how you can use the benchmark fraction of 1/2 in order to compare fractions.